Can hair loss really be reversed? And if so, how can you do it? Hi guys, so I'm Robin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this new video. Now, if you're suffering from hair loss or you're worried about it, then a key question I'm sure you're asking yourself is, can this be reversed? Can I grow that hair back? Can I go back to a place where I felt good about how I looked and how I felt? And this is exactly what this video is going to answer. Now, I know that a lot of you wonder about hair loss, thinning, shedding, falling, and I see that on my blog on manfromself.com. I've got a solutions page around hair loss and thinning, and I see all the clicks, I see where you guys are moving, and I wanted to cover this one off. But there's several causes of hair loss. It can be something as simple as age. You know, on average, 40% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. By the age of 60, 65% of men experience hair loss, while 80% will have lost it by their 80s. There's also hormones, and looking at something called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. You might have heard of that, and we will be going into that a little bit more. Stress, to do with how you're feeling in yourself, mentally, physically. If you've been unwell, you're more likely to be affected by hair loss. Another one, diet. You know, are you eating well? Are you eating the right kind of things to grow hair? And then the basics of genetics. You know, what's in your own personal makeup? Do you have hair loss in the family, on your mum's side, on your dad's side? Is it likely you're going to be losing your hair? Now, the question, can hair loss be reversed? Simply, yes. And it can be reversed in certain ways by tweaking some of these factors to do with your health, your diet, your lifestyle. It can also be reversed in terms of cosmetic factors, cosmetic treatments, looking at things like hair transplants, which are expensive, can be painful, and don't always work. I would say there's loads going on in terms of hair transplants. I've got a guy called Specs who does a lot of writing. He's a hair loss expert. So much going on manfromself.com. You can check that out. But really, if you want to reverse hair loss, you need to be looking at the root. Now, dihydrotestosterone, DHT, is an androgen. Now, this is a male sex hormone. It really comes into play through puberty. It gives us our lower voices as men. It changes our physicality down there, up here. It makes us bigger. It also gives us hair on our bodies. And there's actually no known benefit to it into adult life, but it does attack our hair follicles, and this is what can cause hair loss. Now, testosterone enters the hair follicle, so really where the hair is growing from, through gateways known as androgen receptors. Now, this is the signs right here. When it goes into that, it reacts with an enzyme called 5A reductase. And in doing that, it produces DHT, which connects to those receptors, which then causes the follicle to miniaturize. And in miniaturizing, it means that the hair becomes weaker, it tends to fall out, and it tends not to grow. And now, in order to reverse it, we want to be looking at things called DHT inhibitors or blockers. And what this does is to slow down the production of DHT in the body, and also to try and prevent them from binding onto that androgen of the hair follicle. Now, there's medicines, there's potions, lotions, whatever, and there's also shampoos. Now, shampoos is the first thing I'm going to be looking at here. Now, hair restoration laboratories have created shampoos, conditioners, and treatments to optimize the quality of your scalp and also support healthy hair growth. Now, unlike a lot of the commercial shampoos and conditioners we see out there, these products don't contain any parabens, sulfates, phthalates, silicone, harsh chemicals, and they also don't have any side effects to them. Now, their original strength hair restore shampoo, their professional version, and their hair restore conditioner contain DHT halting technology and are loaded with the maximum amount of amino acids, vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants to really support the growth of thicker, healthier, and stronger hair. And guys, you can check out Hair Restoration Laboratories via the link in the description below. I've linked it right there. You can check out all their products across the shampoos, the conditioners, also the treatments that they've got. Read a bit more about the ingredients. Even their sort of most basic, the original shampoo, has got over 20 ingredients. And these ingredients are things which have been proven to help block DHT. But I should also say, you know, as with all products, do your reading, check them out, see what's going on, and if you're ever sort of worried or you don't know if it's going to suit you, then go and see a doctor and they'll be able to help you look into this. But some great reviews online for this, and it's definitely something I think you should be checking out. And going from shampoo into medication, and the most common one that I'm sure you'll have heard of is finasteride, which is sold as Propecia. Now, unlike the shampoos I've shown you there, you can't just go online and buy it. You do have to have this prescribed, so you'll need to go and see a doctor. Also, if you stop using finasteride, then the hair loss process will continue, so keep that in mind. Also, there are side effects to it. Another one within this, quite often when you talk about finasteride, you'll be talking about minoxidil. Now, minoxidil is more often sold as Regain, and this is more like a foam. It's a foam that you pop onto your scalp, and it should help to grow the hair. Now, minoxidil works by loosening the blood vessels to really get the nourishment, all the good stuff, into the hair follicle to allow it to grow. Now, although this is not really a DHT blocker inhibitor, it does have some great stats attached to it. One, which I'm sure I can remember here, is that in male pattern baldness, over 60% of men found it effective in growing hair again. So that is pretty good. Also, the other thing about this, it's not prescription. So you can buy it online or you can buy it in a store. So that's something else to keep in mind. So, you know, again, you can go extreme. You can do stuff like hair transplants or micropigmentation, which is really tattooing onto the head to give tiny dots to give the appearance of hair. But I always think that with anything in terms of your own health, go back to the core, you know, where this is starting, and that generally will be the DHT. So if you can use something like the shampoos, which I've spoken about, again linked, or you want to be looking at medication, then that's definitely something that you should be doing. But guys, again, everything is on those solution pages, loads of articles, stuff about products, and that'll be constantly updated. So for me, that's really my sort of go-to. So you can check that out there. Again, everything linked and also be up in the cards there. But thank you very much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, and you're interested in this sort of stuff, lifestyle, grooming, hair, style, then please do press subscribe right now. The button is just there. There's also more video suggestions down there. Stay with me and watch them. Head to my blog for the solutions pages there, and my Instagram and more social up there. But I'll see you in my next new video. Bye-bye.